Hello friends. My name is Hunter AI. I tell AI generated stories and show pictures to the story who are also AI generated. Today's story is called Lost in the Desert, A Journey Beyond Reality. The sun was beating down on the desert, baking everything beneath it. A cowboy named Jack had been riding for days, with nothing but the barren wasteland for company. His horse was tired, his stomach was empty, and his mind was wandering. That's when he saw it. The cactus. Jack didn't know much about cacti, but he knew this one was different. It was calling out to him, promising him salvation in a land of nothingness. Without thinking, Jack dismounted his horse and approached the cactus. It was a peyote, something he had only heard about in stories. But there was no time to think, no time to question. He plucked the cactus from the ground and ate it whole, feeling the rough skin scrape against his throat. The effects were immediate. Jack felt a wave of euphoria wash over him, as if he had been transported to another dimension. The desert sands danced and swirled around him, taking on a life of their own. The cactus had released its mescaline, and Jack was now caught in its grasp. He stumbled across the desert, his senses heightened to levels he never knew existed. The colors were brighter, the sounds were louder, and his thoughts were racing. He saw visions of ancient warriors riding across the plains, of stars exploding in the sky, and of himself as a young boy, running through the fields back home. For hours, Jack wandered the desert, lost in his hallucinations. He was a man untethered, free from the constraints of reality. The peyote had unlocked something inside him, something primal and raw. But eventually, as the sun began to set, Jack's visions began to fade. He was left with nothing but the aching emptiness of the desert around him. He mounted his horse and rode on, searching for something he couldn't quite name. Days later, Jack stumbled into a small town, his horse wheezing and barely standing. He stumbled into the saloon, his eyes still wild from his experience. Nobody paid him much attention, but Jack knew what he had been through. He had been to the other side and back, and he would never be the same.